Okay, so Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nick EHSAN bin Nick Muhammad FAHMEE. My metric number is 2227895. So for our assignment, we went ahead and approached He and She Coffee on our campus in Gombak IIUM. One of the reasons that we chose this place is because it was an easy choice for me personally, because I work there, and Zakwan agreed to it as well. Another reason that I chose He and She Coffee to be the highlight of the assignment is because He and She Coffee, the manager that is working right now, the current manager right now, he is someone with no formal education in his background. So I think that interviewing him will provide some interesting insight and findings to our assignment. So the topic that we selected is leadership in the workplace, because as I said just now, I find that his way of leading with an informal background is very interesting, and I think we can learn a lot about it, especially as students who do not have leadership classes primarily. So there are three theoretical frameworks that I found whilst doing the research for this topic. The first one is transformational leadership, which focuses on inspiring and motivating employees to exceed expectations. So if for this one, because I'm working there, so I can see that this is one thing that he does daily. You know, he tries to inspire the other, especially the part-timers. When we come back and we go into a shift, we leave all our academic problems behind us, and he would inspire us to let go of the academic stuff and focus on what's fun, which is basically latte art and all that. So transformational leadership. The second one is emotional intelligence, also something that can relate very well with him. It is the ability to perceive, understand, and regulate emotions well. So basically, because he is a manager, but he's only 25 years old, if I'm not mistaken, and at the same time he's also our friend, so he can differentiate when to be a manager and when to be our friend really well, which is something I admire. And the next is servant leadership, prioritizes employee needs with a focus on collaboration, ethical behavior, and personal development. It builds a culture of transparency and mutual respect, and it encourages employees to take ownership and align efforts with organizational goals. So servant leadership, when I see it in him, is sometimes we don't even realize he's being a leader. You know, he becomes a leader by nature, but at the same time he's still a friend. So I think that his ability to be both of this is something that makes him interesting and worthy of us coming to him and interviewing him. Because if before this I used to work in other F&B places, the manager there was a formal person. What I mean is she had a formal education in management, and we could see the power difference. We could see that she knows how to manage, but it's not how we like, it's how somebody with power overpowers us as the workers. And this is something that I do not see in He and She Coffee in Gombak, because like I said before, he has no formal education, so he treats us as friends, but at the same time he has that natural leadership style that I really like. So for our methodology, we conducted a semi-structured interview with him, but he was very nervous in conducting this interview, so he asked me to do it in a formal setting, in an informal setting, which means that he was just walking around, he was doing work, and while I was on shift at the same time, Zakwan was there too. I asked most of the questions in a very playful, very relaxed manner. So this helped him to answer the questions better. I recorded everything on my phone, which was in my pocket at the time. The interview was conducted in Malay because his English proficiency wasn't that high, So I took the English, I took the Malay transcription and I translated it to English for in the findings later. So for the data analysis, basically we use thematic analysis because we identified the key themes first, and then we worked our way through that. We incorporated the manager's unconventional leadership background for a practical perspective. And to ensure the reliability, the translated responses were cross-checked back to him for accuracy. So everything that is written here was said by him, and I do not have it on paper, but he did say that I did recheck with him and he agreed to everything I said. And all findings contextualized within leadership and strategic communication frameworks. So that's all from me. I'll be passing the rest to Zakwan. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Zakwan bin Fuad, and now we go on to the findings. And based on the findings, there are 6 things that needs to be uncovered. And the first finding is the leadership background and transformation leadership. The second finding is the communication in leadership, and third is emotional intelligence and conflict resolution, and the fourth is servant leadership and team empowerment, and fifth is the strategic communication decision making, and last but not least is the challenges of unconventional leadership. So firstly, let's talk about leadership background and transformational leadership. So based on our findings, the manager's journey in leadership began with extensive experience working in the hospitality industry, where the manager learns the dedication and adaptability, which he emphasized that leadership is about leading its staffs by an example. And he tries to cultivate an empathy towards his team, where he stated that if I focus on understanding my team members and support them to achieve their best. And he also explained, which can link to the BAS 1990 perspective on transformation leadership, where the manager supports his staff and wanting them to achieve their best. And this shows the utilization of inspiring and motivating his team in the workplace, and these qualities and several leadership frameworks which also prioritize inspiring and supporting team members. And the second findings that we found is the communication in leadership, where the effective communication that has been highlighted as a integral part of the manager's approach when it comes to managing he and she coffee. And the way he adjusts his style in communicating, it depends on the context and the audience of the subject, which he adopts the directive approach for staff and more empathic tone when engaging with customers. And this adaptability ensures that messages are clear and relevant to the topic or the main agenda in the workplace, and this also fosters positive relationship within the workplace. And now we go to the third point of the findings, which is the emotional intelligence and conflict resolutions. And what the manager did is that he tries to resolve the team conflict during the busy workdays, as it tends to get a very stressful and a hectic work environment, and it tends to get heated because of the long working hours, like 9 to 5. And what he did is by listening actively, or we can say active listening, where he applied to both parties, mediating the situation calmly, and he was able to clarify misunderstandings and restore the team harmony to lift up the spirits and to absolve the staff from stress. And what he also said that the key is to stay calm and ensure that everyone feels heard. And this approach demonstrated that the he and she manager successfully applied the use of emotional intelligence, which can interrelate with Goldman's 1995 definition of emotional intelligence, which is to perceive and understand. And the manager stated that he must ensure that everyone feels heard and able to regulate emotions, and he stresses that he must stay calm in all times so that he doesn't increase the stress even further in the workplace. And particularly in conflict resolution, it is it is not easy to maintain composure under sense, but somehow or some way the manager was able to maintain this composure and able to resolve the conflict in his work environment. Going to the fourth one, which is the servant leadership and team empowerment. What the manager did is that he tries to build the trust and mutual respect among the team members in the workplace, and he considered this as his priority, because if we cannot build trust, how come we have that synergy in the workplace? And if no one respects one another, then how come that people will be able to be comfortable with working with each other? And so what he did, that he was able to foster this environment by being more approachable and encouraging open communication, like interpersonally, and he also allows team members to be involved in decision making processes, where he said, I make sure to show that I value their opinions and contributions, he noted. And by balancing leadership and teamwork, he leads by example by motivating others to take leadership roles, so that they have more responsibilities, so that the staff doesn't get alienated and feels that they have the importance in the workplace. And the use of servant leadership were successfully applied, and it is linked with Greenleaf's 1977 definition of servant leadership. And he stated that prioritize the needs of employees, where the manager, where he and she managers apply the values in his staff's opinion, and it can also be used as a form of collaboration derived from suggestions given by the he and she coffee staff. And this can be seen as an ethical behavior, as it promotes democratic environment, establishing the workers' rights, and not having the type of autocratic leadership which could lead to a negative effect in the workplace. And now going to the fifth one, which is the strategic communication in decision making. The he and she manager emphasizes the importance of including every team members in the decision making processes, and he often tends to lead the regular team meetings and making sure that there is open discussions to ensure that there is transparency, and to make sure that these transparencies are aligned with the team goals, to add the business vision. And he also stated that when everyone understands the plan, it becomes easy to work together, and it highlights the role of strategic communication in building consensus. And lastly, which is the challenges of unconventional leadership. The he and she manager, who is the person without the formal education or without the training of traditional leadership, and the manager relies heavily on his personal experience and his interpersonal skills which he has. And he also acknowledged that his unconventional path has shaped his unique approach to management, where he uses his own style of leadership to manage the he and she coffee segment in IUM. And he also stated that practical experience has taught me more than any classroom could. And while he recognizes these potential gaps in theoretical knowledge, he also compensates by continuously learning from experiences and leveraging the strengths of his team. Hence, that every time that he goes to a new workplace, he tends to adapt and learn more. Such, like for example, when he used to work in the hospitality firm, he gathered those experiences and apply it to the new workplace, which is the he and she coffee in IOM. So that's what he did. Conclusion, what the manager demonstrates that he was able to bring a positive impact in the workplace as he promotes professionalism by being very approachable in the workplace, and he was able to synergize with his staff member, which explains that he has a great teamwork and also the commitment to growth, where he wants himself to grow and his staffs to grow. And this kind of leadership style that he fosters is that he was able to build trust around his staff, and he was able to make everyone included in the decision making processes, and the collaboration between the manager and the staff brings something that the leadership role is being open to anyone, which helps staffs or underlings to grow even more, and to gives them more the sense of responsibility. And having these qualities, the manager was able to create a culture where the support for employees was able to assist in business vision and also making the business more successful. However, despite of the manager not having a formal education, there are three recommendations that we made. One recommendation is to have the manager to get a formal leadership training in communication training, and to enhance his skills and gain new strategies for handling workplace challenges. This is extremely useful if he decided to move to another organizations that might be bigger than he and she coffee, where the culture might be different, where the environment might be different, where the staffs might have different personality or whatnot. And the second recommendation is to implement a structured feedback system to improve team communication and to support ongoing environment. Having this kind of feedback gives us the information whether the staffs were satisfied in the workplace or not satisfied in the workplace. By having this kind of feedback, it helps the management team to understand the needs of the staffs. What is the thing that is missing in the workplace? Why are they not motivated or unhappy in the workplace? So this is useful for to make sure that the team members in the workplace are kept motivated, so that the productivity could stay consistent. And the last recommendation that we made is that the business should invest in leadership development program to identify and nurture future leaders, ensuring the continuation of its strong leadership culture. And he and she, this is for he and she coffee, where they need to invest more on leadership development, because like the he and she manager that we just interviewed, he doesn't have the formal training, and hence that he was selected due to his experience. However, for those who wanted to get this opportunity, this is an opportunity for those who wanted to take a management role, and he and she should have this kind of training program for those who wanted to become a manager in the later future, in case if the current manager wanted to leave the he and she franchise. So I think that for he and she to invest in leadership program could help to speed up the process, and to make sure that wanting to become a manager could have the skills that is required in the workplace. So that's pretty much it, and thank you very much.